Alright, so here's everybody.
Welcome to the Starfleet Training Simulator. Our system is currently configured to train command crew of Aegis-class starships. Here you may learn about the roles and responsibilities of each officer on the bridge, and how to operate all of the controls of their command stations. Feel free to experiment and get comfortable with the ship here in the simulator before moving on to the real thing.
Oh, okay. So here are the 4 classes. We got Captain, the Helm, the Tactical, and the Engine. So let's see what Captain does.
As Captain, you are in overall command of the crew. It is your responsibility to communicate with and to coordinate the actions of the other officers on the bridge. You'll receive important updates on mission status and also have direct control of the main view screen.
Which I guess this is the main view screen. Alright, so topic completed.
The Captain's Objectives feed contains vital information about your ship's mission. Updates from support crew and Starfleet Command are reflected here, so that you will always know what your crew needs to accomplish. Open the Objectives feed now.
Okay. So I noticed the chair is really low, meaning I have to really put my arms down compared to where my the arms are. Alright, so view objective would be based on this. So yeah, that's... I guess I'll have to back up just a little bit. Alright, cool. Oh, I guess it's already up.
You got it. Shields up.
Okay, cool. And then I could tell you to stop. What about
As Captain, you can answer a hail when messages from Starfleet or other ships are received. If the message is accompanied by video, it will be displayed on the main view screen. Answer the incoming hail now.
Okay.
Aegis, this is Captain Uku of USS Huxley. Our system checks are complete. We're ready to go. We'll stand by and follow you out when you're ready.
Alright, thank you. Alright, and then... let's see... Oh, well, I didn't do the objective. Alright, stop. Wait. Ah, oh, come on. You're not making...
At any time while on the bridge, you can use an external view to see what is going on outside and around the ship. Hold the external view button now.
So... Oh. Alright. What else do we got? Ship status, local map, AI crew, impulse map, warp map, and view screen, takeover AI, red alert. Wow, they got a lot. And help overlay. Alright, let's see if we could complete the objective at least.
The Captain's Objectives feed contains vital information about your ship's mission. Updates from support crew and Starfleet Command are reflected here, so that you will always know what your crew needs to accomplish. Open the Objectives feed now.
Okay, so...
Some objectives also have more detailed information. Sometimes you, as Captain, must choose between different ways to complete an objective and direct your crew accordingly. In all cases, your crew depends on you to keep them informed of their goals. Select the objective for more information.
Alright, so this is an object for your crew. Touch for more information. I guess select that.
Sometimes you will receive additional information to help with your mission. Keep an eye out for your intel feed, located near your objective readout for tips and hints.
Okay, well, that's the end of that. Let's see, ship
As
status?
Captain, you can access basic information about your ship's status. Open your status displays now. The status information available to you is helpful, but no substitute for the more detailed knowledge of your chief engineer.
Okay, so this basically tells me everything of what they're doing, so, you know, if they're causing trouble, I'm like, yo... Anyway, you guys know the drift. Okay, local map.
As Captain, you have the same maps at your fingertips as your Helm and Tactical officers. You may use these to aid communication, to identify a target for Tactical, or to specify a destination for Helm. Targets and nearby destinations are selected from the local map, which shows objects of interest around you. Open the local map view. Now touch any object on the map to select it as your target.
Okay, so select that
Some
target.
orders you give to the crew require you to first designate a target or destination, exactly as you just did.
So basically, once I tell him to target, I guess he targets. But that's for the AI purpose. So AI crew, this is what I want to know. When it comes down to playing with other people, everybody has their own responsibility and no worries. But by yourself is a different story, so let's check that out.
When playing alone or with AI members of the command crew, the captain gives orders to the AI officers. To give an order to a specific officer, look at them and use the orders system to select from the available commands. Remember, some commands will first require that you select a target or destination. Try ordering your chief engineer to prioritize power to engines. Some orders apply to the entire crew. To access these orders, look towards the central console in front of you. First, select the closest ship from your local map. Then try ordering the crew to investigate it.
All right. So my right hand, of course, would be to order people, and my left is to view the outside of the ship. Okay. So look at the engineer, select power in the engineer. So I'm looking and all that stuff. I can't really do it, so. And engage. No. Invalid target. Oh, reduce signature.
Aye, aye. Roger that. Lowering shields.
So this is going to take a lot of tactics to do stuff. Okay, so when I look, that's basically what I'm doing. Okay, so... And then, so it's a one push button. Alright. So when I want to make an order, I push it, and then I look at the AI that I want to control or tell what to do.
Aye, aye. Arming torpedoes.
Look at the engineer, select power to engines. Okay. So you're the... Okay, you're the engineer. You're the engineer? Yeah, you're the engineer. It even says it. Because when I look, it says tactical, and then that says helm. Alright, so engineer, power engine.
Aye, aye. Maximizing power to engines.
And then I could keep an eye on her, what she's doing. Cool. And then select. And then look at the center console to issue crew. So personal. So I guess, okay, yeah. So this would be center. Center is to order everybody from engage target, analyze target, and all that other stuff. So right now we already targeted the ship. We're going to analyze.
Following the target locked.
And that tells everybody what to do. Okay, look at the center console to issue, which I already did. So right now we're just waiting on the results.
I finished the scan.
Alright, so we scanned everything. Okay. Alright. So that's interesting. So yeah, that's a lot to think of if you're doing this by yourself. So looking at the center tells everybody what to do. Looking at individuals gives them a separate order in order for you to engage what you need. So that's a lot to think of. All right, impulse.
Impulse engines allow the ship to rapidly traverse great distances within a star system. When playing with an AI crew, you will need to choose a destination and give the orders to prepare for and initiate impulse travel. First, choose a destination from your impulse map.
Okay. So I have to hit impulse
You
map.
need to select a destination from the impulse map.
Okay. Which, yeah, select this destination. Can I not? There we go. So you have to actually hit the letter. You can't hit the word, which I don't know why. The letter, but okay. That's fine. So we're there. Let's go
Now
through.
give the order to prepare for impulse. Your chief engineer will give more power to the engines, and your helmsman will lay in a course and align the ship.
Cool. So prepare impulse.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Tell the crew to engage impulse flight.
Plotting impulse course.
Okay, and then engage. Oh, well,
Course laid in, Captain.
okay, so now that everything's all lined up, I think, now we can engage.
Aye, understood.
Alright, so that was that. Wow. Because right now we're just learning the captain, and I think that's what we'll do, is we'll learn how the captain works, and then we'll learn how the engine. So we're going to have separate videos of each training session, so we actually get to see what we're doing. Warp map.
The ship's warp drive can generate a warp field, distorting space around the Aegis and allowing you to travel to other star systems much faster than the speed of light. When playing with an AI crew, the captain chooses a destination and gives the orders to prepare for and initiate warp travel. Always bear in mind that charging the warp coils consumes most of the ship's power. The Aegis will not be able to maintain a full combat stance during these critical seconds. To go to warp, first choose a destination from your warp map. You need to select a destination from the warp map.
So select the system? Ah, you gotta be kidding me. You really need a lot of space for this. Because right now, I'm a little narrow, but let me see if I can recenter it. Hold on. Okay, so there we go. Much better.
Now give the order to prepare for warp. Your chief engineer will direct power to the warp coils, and your helmsman will lay in a course and align the ship to the correct heading.
Got it. Alright, so prepare warp.
Aye.
Initializing warp protocols. Allocate.
Now tell your crew to engage the warp drive.
Lining up for warp vector.
Right now everything's
We're
preparing.
ready to
Coils
go.
ready.
Charged.
And
Aye,
warp.
Captain.
Not bad. Alright, continuing. View screen, okay.
The ship's
No,
warp
no, no, no,
drive.
no, 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 no. View screen.
Captains have control of the main view screen. You may choose to display any of several different overlays on the view screen, with information about your ship's system status. Try the different views and overlays available. Open your view screen controls now.
Alright. So my view screen right here.
The target and magnify views only work when you are targeting another ship or object. Magnify provides an up-close view of your selected target. Target view provides enhanced situational awareness, showing both your own ship and your target at once.
Okay. So that's interesting. So I can magnify, which that will give me a, and then the target. Okay. Or just turn it off and just keep it natural. So that's interesting. Oh, wow. Even has a navigation. That's a lot. Alright, we are almost done. We got 3 more to go. Then we'll actually do a single player mission.
Sometimes, as captain, you may wish to take temporary control over another command station. This allows you to perform any of the functions of that role, then return to the captain's chair when ready. You cannot, however, take control of a station currently being operated by another player. To take control of another station, look at any of your AI command crew and activate orders mode. Now choose the Take Over option. You can return to the captain's chair at any time by tapping the orders mode button again.
Alright, so I want to take the helm. Okay. So that's cool. So you can only move forward with this? Oh yeah, that's the helm, so that means nothing. Alright, so this is to steer, I think. So that's the speed. And this is the steering. Whoa. Not bad. And then that's reverse. Since it's a big ship, it takes a while. Okay, so that's cool. And then what's this? Oh, the magnitude. And then you got impulse. And then warping. So that's cool. Yeah, this is all the engineer. So full stop. Cool. And I guess Yeah, I did it. Yay. Alright, so red alert.
In emergency situations, you can sound a red alert to notify your ship's crew. If you are playing with an AI as tactical officer, she will interpret a red alert as a request to prepare for combat. Try activating red alert now.
And there's the button.
Yes, Captain. Raising shields.
I didn't do it. Yeah, that button's gonna be abused. Alright, cool. And help overlay? Whoa, a message. Okay. Thought it was. My controller vibrates when a message is supposed to help, but I guess that doesn't help. And then open the help overlay for additional, which is the triangle. And there's your help. Or I think that's circle. Wait, which one? This is triangle. This is X, circle. Oh, the square. So the square button displays everything on here. Alright, so we are going to we're going to quit. Alright.
Welcome to the Starfleet Training Simulator. Our system is currently configured to train command crew of Aegis-class starships. Here you may learn about the roles and responsibilities of each officer on the bridge, and how to operate all of the controls of their command stations. Feel free to experiment and get comfortable with the ship here in the simulator before moving on to the real thing.
Alright, so we did Captain in the last one, so we're going to do the helm and understand how the helm works.
As helmsman, you are the ship's navigator, responsible for maneuvering the ship and navigating within and between star systems. Your crew depends on you to get the ship wherever needed, to avoid collisions with hazards in space, and to maneuver for tactical advantage in combat situations.
Okay, so let's just go down the list here. Let's see. I don't think there's really much. Yeah, there's not too much, but alright, let's go.
Your local map can be used to mark ships and objects as waypoints, to check your proximity to hazards, and gauge when you are close to being detected by hostiles. Touch any target on the map to select it.
Alright. Wow, that was easy. See? I'm an ace already. Alright, so maneuvering.
Your basic maneuvering controls allow you to give the ship forward or reverse thrust, to steer the ship to port or starboard, and to move the ship up or down on its vertical axis. The amount of thrust you can give depends on the amount of power your chief engineer allocates to engines. The more power your engines have, the more responsive the ship will be. Maneuvering controls are only available when your local map view is active.
So basically, yeah. If there's nobody in front of me, like the person just talking, that's the only time I can actually steer it. So I can steer it right now.
The throttle controls your speed and also allows you to reverse or make a full stop.
Which is this one over here. So let's move forward. And that's all it's at. Alright, so yeah. So this is the increase, decrease, and all that stuff, and then full stop when you press it. And this actually goes back into the center, so that's a nice way to know it. Alright, so impulse travel.
Your ship's impulse drive allows you to travel quickly between planets and other points of interest within a star system. To travel via impulse, you will first need to plot a course by choosing a destination on the impulse map. Once the course is plotted, you will then need to align your ship with the appropriate heading and engage the impulse drive. Be aware, the impulse drive cannot be engaged unless the chief engineer has allocated sufficient power. Switch to your impulse map.
Alright, so let's do that.
Select any point of interest in the star system to plot a course to that destination.
Wait a minute. This is all I have. You're going to tell me to select it? Yeah, sure. And I guess...
Now return to the local view
Okay.
and steer the ship to line up with your plotted course.
Alright, so we go back to local. And then here's the line here. So you got to make sure you line it up with that. And that's how you do it, by steering it, by turning it. So that's what we're doing right now. So as you can see, you can turn it.
Grab and push your throttle to engage the impulse drive. The ship's computer will automatically follow the course you plotted.
Alright, so here we go. And and then it shows the travel destination. Why are you still moving? You're not even talking. Alright. So we're almost there. Now we got the warp travel, the ship's signature, and help overlay. So we're almost done with this one, and then we're going to actually do some gameplay.
The ship's warp drive can distort space around the ship to propel it faster than light across the vast distances between star systems. The tremendous amount of energy needed for warp travel will require you to coordinate closely with the chief engineer. To travel by warp, it is your responsibility to plot a course by selecting a star system on your warp map. When the course is plotted, you will need to align the ship with the proper heading. Before you can enter warp, your chief engineer will have to prepare the ship and charge the warp coils. Open your warp map now.
Alright.
Select a star system to plot a course to it.
So literally, engineer over there is the one that actually gives me the amount of power
needed. Now return to the
needed.
local view and steer the ship to line up with your plotted course.
Alright.
Warp coils charging.
Oh, not too far. So let's just turn it.
Push your throttle to engage the warp drive. The warp coils can only remain charged for a limited time. The chief engineer will need to prepare the ship for warp again.
Alright. And that's warp. Very simple. Very simple. Alright, we're almost done. So ship signature is the last one, and then help overlay is just a quick button press. So
Various systems of the ship affect how easily other vessels can detect the Aegis. The Aegis is designed to avoid detection at ranges where other Federation vessels would be easily visible to another ship's sensors. As helmsman, the more thrust you are using, the farther away the Aegis can be detected. On your local map, you'll see a ring that expands and contracts as the ship's signature increases or decreases. When other ships come within that ring, they will detect the Aegis.
yeah, so good to know. Alright, and then help overlay is basically that, so you actually know all the mapping of what these buttons do. So, other than that, that's it. So, let's go back to the station. Oop. Okay, so
Welcome to the Starfleet Training Simulator. Our system is currently configured to train command crew of Aegis-class starships. Here you may learn about the roles and responsibilities of each officer on the bridge, and how to operate all of the controls of their command stations. Feel free to experiment and get comfortable with the ship here in the simulator before moving on to the real thing.
Alright, so yeah, tactical is next, so let's do tactical and see
As
what
the tactical officer, you are in charge of the ship's weapons, defenses, and scanners. In combat situations, you must coordinate with the rest of the bridge crew to protect the ship and deal with any threats to it. But you also have a crucial role in non-combat situations. It is the tactical officer's responsibility to scan nearby ships and other objects in the environment to reveal vital information about them.
Alright, so let's see what we have on this list. Select targets, scanning, shields, torpedoes, phasers, targeting subsystems, ship signatures, intrusion, transportation, and then help overview. Wow, so tactical really has a lot compared to the Helm when it comes to steering. I mean, he can target too, but other than that, almost tactical is everything. So let's go down the list.
In order to scan anything or to fire on it, you must first target it. To select a target, simply select the appropriate icon on your map. Once you've selected a target, a display will show all currently known information about your selection. Target a nearby ship by tapping its icon on the map.
Okay, so here's the little icon here. So you just click on it, and then it does a hologram right in front of you of the target that's ahead of us. And then eventually you have other options, which we're going to go and learn scanning. So let's check that out.
You will often need to scan a target to learn more about it, or to locate people or objects of interest in another vessel. Some objects are scanned with a simple, general scanning action. This happens automatically when the object is targeted. More complex objects, like other ships, can be scanned for specific properties, such as the locations of any weak points in a ship's system. When an object has many features to scan, scanning them all at once is much slower than scanning a single specific system. Scanning is required before it's possible to transport people or cargo off of another vessel, or before being able to target weak spots of an enemy's ship systems. Target a nearby ship by tapping its icon on the map. Here you can select what systems you want to scan. Scanning a single system will always be faster than scanning multiple at once. Also, the closer the ship is to the target, the faster you can scan.
Now that's good information, because most people I've played with, they just scan at a distance, and at a distance it's slow, but as he says, up close it goes faster. So as much as...
Scan the ship's engines now to reveal their status, and any weak points which would allow you to damage the engines directly.
Okay. So we are 10 kilometers, so let's see how fast it is when scanning just the engine. So engine's at 100%. So let's scan the life signs just in case. So there's 24 life signals found in that ship. So with that said, likely we would, do a transportation and lock on and all this stuff. But we are getting ahead of ourselves. Let's keep going down the list.
As tactical officer, you have control over raising and lowering the ship's shields. When raised, the shields will charge up to maximum strength over time. They are your best defense against damage to the ship. When shields are lowered, or down to 0 strength, any damage to the ship may cause serious harm to onboard systems, or even loss of life to your crew. When shields are raised, the chief engineer can direct power to them to increase their effectiveness. Raise the shields now.
And this one's pretty easy. Just make sure you have it all highlighted here and drag
There
it.
is a delay while power is channeled into the shield emitters before the shields come online. In a combat situation, remember that you need to raise shields before the enemy fires.
So it takes approximately 10 seconds for it to load up once starting. So as you see here, it has a blue ring, and that gives you significant idea of the shield being on. Simple! Alright, let's keep going. Now we got torpedoes, phasers, and target subsystems. So let's check those out.
Photon torpedoes are a devastating weapon. They can automatically track a moving target and deliver heavy damage on impact. However, before you can fire them, you must first give the order to arm them. Arm your torpedoes now.
And this is arming the torpedoes. Very simple. Simply slide
Each torpedo
across.
tube takes time to load. Your supply of torpedoes for any mission is limited, so use them wisely. Target the nearby ship and fire torpedoes at it.
Alright, so same thing. Click to lock on. Now I could scan them all, which will take a lot longer because it's scanning each individual, but doing it separately would probably help me a little bit better. And scan faster. So torpedoes is almost done. Alright, and it goes to show me that this ship has 100% of everything. Let's fire to torpedoes since they're all highlighted in white, and... Now that only did a little bit, so now I gotta wait for it to charge again. I can't really say how many seconds it takes for it to charge, but it takes a while. Okay, let's do it again. Now it had shields up, so the shields are, still at max. Alright, shield's almost down, so one more charge up should take out the shield, and the second should damage the ship itself. Wow. So it looks like one more torpedo should do it. Alright, so it's destroyed. But all in all, I do like this game. Again, this is another commutative VR experience, but with it, you get to interact with other people. I know there are some stuff that most people would rather do than just sit around and order people around, but it happens. Alright, so now we're on phasers.
Phasers are a versatile energy weapon. They continually charge over time, and when fully charged, your phaser banks hold enough energy to fire multiple shots at your target. Phaser banks automatically track your target, but only if it is within the indicated firing arc and within the current range of your weapons. The effective range and damage of your phasers is controlled by the amount of energy the Chief Engineer allocates to them. Target the nearby ship and fire phasers at it.
Alright, so now we are firing phasers, which is this here. So I got a target, of course, and I could scan them all, so let's just, I guess, figure out each individual ones so they can scan a little faster. So doing it individually scans faster than doing it multiple. And then the closer you are to the ship, it'll scan even more faster than how I did individually. Now, here's another thing. Let's say I want to disable some of its weapons, or weapon, shield, or engine. If you just want to just hit it in general, then you don't lock onto it. But you can tell the phasers to, let's say I want to go for the, actually I'll have to go for the shield because likely it shields up. So I can use this and it changes it to a beam. Now, this is just regular burst. See? As you can see, when it focuses on one thing, it uses the beam. So right now I'm just firing phasers because that's what I'm told to do. So. And I mean, that's basically the submission of it. But let's say if I want to go for the engine, I lock onto just that one, and the beam will hit only that particular spot of the ship, which is good. But since it has a shield on, I would have to use this. But for some odd reason, it's just not doing it. I mean, it is little by little, so it's not as effective, but it's a bit effective. Alright, so let's do the next one.
Phasers can be used to precisely target weak spots of another vessel. To use this ability, you must first scan the desired subsystem of a target, such as its weapons or engines. Once scanned, you must then select that system. As long as a scanned system is selected, phasers will auto-target that system's weak points. To hit a subsystem, the target's shields must be down or inactive. Second, your ship must be correctly facing the targeted point. If the target's shields are raised, or you are attacking from the wrong angle, firing in subsystem targeting mode will do minimal damage. When dealing with other ships, targeting individual systems is a good way to disable them or neutralize a threat without outright destroying the ship. This may sometimes be necessary to accomplish your mission objectives. Target the nearby ship and scan its weapons systems.
Alright, so he explained that a little bit better than I did. So now we actually get a better understanding when you're actually highlighting a selective sub. I don't even know what he just said. Let's just keep going.
Scan the ship's engines now to reveal their status and any weak points which would allow you to damage the engines directly. Now select the ship's weapon systems to lock on to their weak points.
Alright, so likely, as he said, scan the engine, which I did. His shield shouldn't be up. I mean, I should scan it, but I don't know. So likely I'm gonna select the engine. Let's see. So as you see here, his shield is still up. I have to take his shield down in order to do it. So I'm going to scan these two for now. Okay, and I'm going to not focus on anything just yet, but let's take off its shield. Just fire at almost everything until the shield's down. Alright, so shields are down. Let's hit the engine, which then is the beam, or switches to beam, and so even though the shield is down, this gives me the opportunity to actually aim for the precise spot of the ship. As you can see, the percentage is going down because I'm actually able to hit the spot of the ship. And with that, it will help me to either disable it and take off whatever life form is on the ship if needed, or to disable something so it doesn't regenerate itself. This is really important for Tactical to understand and know if they really want to, I guess, succeed in the mission without harming too much. Okay, so now the engine is down. It shouldn't be able to,
Your phasers are now in subsystem targeting mode. Fire them for a precision attack. Until the target's shields are down, you will not be able to hit the targeted system.
And again, we kind of went ahead of it, but other than that, the shield is down. So let's...
Very good. You have damaged the targeted system.
But yeah, you get the picture. I already did it for the engine. I just hit the weapons. It went down percentage. So eventually they won't attack us once we disable it, which is good. So let's see. We are moving to the next one. Ship signature, system intrusion, and transporter. So let's check it out.
Various systems of the ship affect how easily other vessels can detect the Aegis. The Aegis is designed to avoid detection at ranges where other Federation vessels would be easily visible to another ship's sensors. As tactical officer, arming torpedoes, firing weapons, and activating shields will each make the ship detectable from greater distances. To reduce the ship's signature, disarm torpedoes and lower shields now.
Okay, let's disarm it. And let's lower the shields. So, as he just explained with the ship signature, lowering things down will kind of keep us without getting caught by other people, but it's fine.
The Aegis's prototype remote intrusion system can be used to send encoded signals and disrupt critical systems of other ships. Before it can be used, the tactical officer must scan the target. Once a scanned target is selected, an intrusion into its control systems is attempted via an automated routine. If successful, you may then choose to attempt any of the available disruption routines to temporarily cripple a specific system. Activate the remote intrusion system.
Alright, so this is the system that he's talking about, and we're going to use the system intrusion, as you said.
Target a nearby ship by tapping its icon on the map.
Now, of course, it requires to scan, so let's say you scan it ahead of time, then this should be available. So we're just going to scan all three.
Select a scan target.
And then, of course, if you have multiple ships around here and you already scan it and it's in range, then you just pick it.
Choose a disruption routine to inject into the target systems.
And we are going to disable weapons. And
Very good. But once used, the remote intrusion system will be fully occupied and unable to disrupt another target or system for some time.
so with that, it should help you disable it for the meantime. And then let's see what happens. And then it's able to use its weapons again. So that's something very useful when you want to slow the competition down. For instance, he moves around too fast. disrupt the engines, and then eventually, once that happens, you have a couple of seconds to at least disable his shield. I would probably do the shield one, and maybe the shield will go down faster. I don't know. I'll have to try that one time. Alright, so let's do transporter.
Your ship is equipped with standard transporters for beaming objects or personnel aboard from other vessels or locations. Transporting first requires the tactical officer to scan the target vessel or location. If any mission-critical items or personnel to transport, the target will appear on the transporter interface. It will take time to acquire a lock-on before you can beam, and you must remain in range for the lock to succeed. The transporter cannot penetrate through your ship's own shields or those of another ship, so you must coordinate with tactical to make sure your shields are down when you need to transport. If you are attempting to beam something from a hostile vessel, your crew will first have to disable its shields. Activate the transporter interface.
Alright, so let's do that.
Target a nearby ship by tapping its icon on the map.
Let's scan.
Select the damaged ship from the list of targets. Lock on to the survivors aboard the ship to prepare for transport. To lock on, your ship must be in transport range and unshielded. The target's shield, if any, must also be down.
Alright, so likely all you do is lock, and it will lock up to 6 people. So even though it says 24, it doesn't lock all 24, it locks up to 6. Now, mind you, the closer you are, the faster they will scan. The farther you are, the less it will scan.
You have transporter lock on the survivors. Give the order to energize. The survivors are now safely aboard the Aegis, but you can only transport 6 at a time. Anytime there are more than 6 targets to transport from a single vessel, you will need to perform multiple transport cycles.
Okay, so let's do more. Oh, that's already done. Alright, so we don't have to. And the last but not least, help overlay. Which then you've just pressed the triangle button, and this is everything on the screens to let you know what's going on. That way you have an understanding. Very useful, trust me, very useful. Alright, so engineer will be the last thing to do when I stream this again. So let's go back and start an actual mission. Alright, I'm a guy again.
Welcome to the Starfleet Training Simulator. Our system is currently configured to train command crew of Aegis-class starships. Here you may learn about the roles and responsibilities of each officer on the bridge, and how to operate all of the controls of their command stations. Feel free to experiment and get comfortable with the ship here in the simulator before moving on to the real thing.
Alright, so we did Captain, we did Helm, we did Tactical, and the last one on the list is Engineer, which is also very important for some storyline missions, but not all. But other than that, it's still important.
As Chief Engineer, you support all other members of the bridge crew by keeping the Aegis operating in top condition. You monitor vital status information about the ship's systems, allocate power needed for maneuvering and combat, and manage the ship's power grid to compensate for damage or boost its capabilities. You also manage the ship's repair teams, and keep an eye on how visible the Aegis is to other ships in the area.
Alright, so let's get started. Let's see what we have on the list here. Okay, system display, overallocate, warp, repair system, rerouting power, ship signature, and then the help overlay. So
how you allocate power determines how effective each of those systems is. As situations change, you'll need to communicate with the rest of the crew to keep them supplied with power and to anticipate when to make critical adjustments. One of your most essential responsibilities as Chief Engineer is to distribute available power between each of the ship's major systems. Try giving maximum power to engines now.
okay, and this is what I'm going to do. So, as you see here, the availability powers I can give is up on the top. And then all I have to do is select the amount of power I want to give. So he wants me to max out the power, which I'm going to do.
Now try giving maximum power to shields. You will have to reduce power to other systems first.
Okay, so right now I only have 1 in the shields, but he wants me to max it out. I have 3 available, which will only give me up to 4. Meaning I will have to get rid of 1, but how can I? Well, let's try it anyway. See, now I would have to get rid of something in order to do it. Which means I will have to get rid of one of the engines in order to transfer it to here. And that's literally how you would actually rearrange things. So as long as you have available power to transfer, that's how you will be able to max out all this stuff. There's no way you can max out 2. But that'll come later in the training. So I kind of skipped 1. Let's go back to the system display.
Your system's display gives vital information about the status of the ship's various systems at all times. When your ship is suffering from negative effects, this panel provides information about the source and severity of the effect. As Chief Engineer, you have more detail about your ship's status than any other member of the crew. Activate your system's display now.
Alright, here we go. So just like if you're using the move controller, if you hold down the right trigger, because that represents your right arm, and slide it, there you go. And that's how you get the display. Now again, using the DualShock, you can't wave your arms and all that stuff. Your hands are actually stuck on the table. But other than that, it's responsive, you know, when you want to really select the item you want without having to kind of fiddle around with the tracking device of the thing. But you get more immersed when you use the move controller. Alright, let's keep going.
Before the ship can travel between star systems, you must make the ship ready and charge its warp coils. This draws a tremendous amount of power, and you will be unable to make any further changes to power allocation or routing while prepping for warp. Begin preparing for warp now.
Alright, very simple. Switch from impulse to warp.
Charge the warp coils.
And then charge.
The helmsman will have a limited time to engage the warp drive, or the coils will automatically discharge to prevent damage to the ship.
Warp coils charged.
And that's basically it. So as you see here, the charge remaining is 20. And then from there, that's when the helm has to, you know, set it up and then engage the warp. So let's move over to the next 3. We got repair systems.
Discharge imminent.
Yeah. Well, let's wait until it stops so we can continue.
Warp coils discharged.
Okay. So we got the 3, repair system, rerouting power, and ship signature. So let's check that out.
When the ship sustains damage, it's up to you to deploy repair crews and get critical systems back in working order. You have a limited number of crews available. You may send multiple crews to repair a single system faster, or you may spread them out to work on multiple systems at once. Activate your repair controls now.
Alright, repair controls down here. Just move it. Click.
We have simulated damage to your phaser banks and scanners. Assign repair crews to both systems to get them back to full working condition.
Alright, so we have phaser banks and then scanner. And so this is pretty simple. You just kind of select the amount of repairs you want. The max is 3, but then once you have the max 3 on one thing, it's going to take a while until it's finished. So let's see if I put 2 for here, or 1 there, and then I'll pick 1 here. There you go, see? And it shows you the time it takes for it to finish repairing, which is not bad. But the more you add, the more it's the more repair faster it goes. The more faster the repair goes. Wow, I couldn't speak that sentence.
Sensor array restored. Phaser array.
Okay, so that's literally it. And then if you just want to put it back, then you just hit the reset button here. Alright, let's go to the next one.
It's possible to increase the power to one or more systems beyond normal safe operating limits by rerouting the ship's power grid. Switch to rerouting mode now.
Alright, there we go.
Try diverting extra power to shields by dragging an adjacent power node over to it.
Alright, so divert power from engines. So we're gonna take this, and let's say we just move it to... Okay, shields.
You have increased maximum shield strength by drawing some power from other systems. This situation is risky, though. The extra power flowing through those conduits could cause internal damage. When you use the rerouting system, you must keep an eye on the power grid and be ready to make changes as needed.
Yeah, so it's actually nice to know. And I think right here this bar indicates the power grid. So if you notice that since we're rerouting the engine here to shields,
Exceeding ship tolerance.
yes, the tolerance cannot handle that much power for it, which may injure the ship. So if you take it off, it should start to reduce down. But then, you know, it's still fine, because then all you could do is repair it just in case. But, yeah, you want to make sure that when you're routing power, you're not, you know, damaging the ship, which, you know, I've done it once or twice. Alright, ship's signature. Let's check it out.
Various systems of the ship affect how easily other vessels can detect the Aegis. The Aegis is designed to avoid detection at ranges where other Federation vessels would be easily visible to another ship's sensors. As Chief Engineer, you can monitor all systems which are affecting the ship's signature and gauge the range at which the Aegis will be detectable to other vessels. This information is vital when trying to avoid contact with hostile ships.
That's interesting. But how would that tell me? I mean, sure, that would be over here, but as much as the engineer is able to do that, I wish there was an indication as to where to kind of glance at it, because that didn't really help much. But that could be just me. Alright, last one, and then we're going to do some quick play. And then, of course, since we're doing the DualShock, square would be the thing for overhelm. So let's see if it's somewhere. Range visible to enemies. So, okay, on top here, detectable at shields, shield immersion, torpedoes immersion, and then engineer. So, anything... Oh, wow, so yes, there we go. That makes more sense now. So detectable gives you the range as to where the enemy can hit us. So for instance, the enemies will only detect us at 10 kilometers. And then anytime the tactical will either put the shield or the torpedoes up, the engineer should tell you how many distance it will take for the enemy to catch you. If so, then that will definitely help the Helm to steer away from it, just in case. That's important, and I haven't really seen that from other people, so it's actually good that I actually heard that, because I would never have figured out, and engineers probably now useful, as much as some people say it wasn't. Wow. Alright. Okay. We are done here, everybody. So we are going to go to the station menu, and we are done with training. And I think what I'll do is I will combine this all into one session, so that way you're not watching a full hour of... Oh, sorry, wrong button.